Let's look at how to use external functions, or how to write functions in a separate library and then use them. So I'm going to make a library, smlib.asm, for my assembly library. And in this, I'm going to create a text section, and I'm going to create two different global functions. Global, I'm going to have a print char and a global print num. All right, so for my print char, I am going to basically take whatever is in the first argument, and I am going to print it out, just a single character. So decrement the stack pointer, so I have a place to put it. I'm going to move RSP for DIL, which is the lower byte from RDI. Put that in there. I'll move into RAX1 for my sys write. I'm going to move into RDI1 for my standard out. I'm going to move into RSI, the print location, RSP, which is the stack pointer, so print location. I'm going to move into RDX, the value 1, which is the length. And then at this point, I can just call the syscall and write it out. Then I'm going to increment my RSP, so the stack pointer, to release it, and I'm going to return. So this will just print out a single character, and then I'm done. Now I'm going to do a print num, and this one right here, I am going to print out an entire number, and that's a lot more complex because numbers have multiple characters, and I have to convert it into ASCII. So I take a number and convert it to ASCII and then print it out. So my print num, first I'm going to use a bunch of registers. So I'm going to push RBX. I'm going to basically save my my Kali saved register. So that means I'm responsible for saving it. And then I'm going to initialize things for my function. So what do I need? Well, I need to allocate space on a buffer. So I'll go ahead and subtract from RSP 32 to give myself 32 bytes. 32 bytes. And those are from RSP to RSP plus 31. So it's a big chunk. I'm going to move into RAX, the value in RDI. So save that one. That is my number to print. That is arg1, basically. I'm going to move into RBX, the value 10, because I'm doing my divisor, and this is a base 10. And then I want to move into RSI, because this is my print place, the RSP. So basically I am grabbing the stack pointer address, and so this is actually pointing it to point RSI to buffer, let's see, buffer location 0. But I really don't want to print starting from buffer point position 0. I'm going to just move it a little bit. RSI, actually do add RSI, and we're going to add 31 to it. So now point RSI to buffer 31. So it's pointing to the back of the buffer. All right, I'm going to put a byte in there. So move byte into RSI, and we'll put a 0, which is basically just saying buffer 31 equals 0, which is the null character. So I'm just null terminating it. You don't need to, it's optional, but we'll just do it anyway. Move RCX 0. This is going to be the number of digits to print, because I might have multiple digits. All right, these are all of my initialization steps. So at this point, I think I'm ready for a looping portion. So print num loop. So what do I do in this loop? Well, I need to check out, I need to clear up the RDX register because I'm going to do division. So I'll do an XOR RDX, which basically just clear the remainder. And then I want to do a division by RBX. So I'm taking RAX and dividing it by RBX. So RAX equals RAX divided by RBX, which is 10, as we said it right here. And then I also get the RDX, because the remainder, equals RAX modular divided by 10. So this will be my remainder. Why do I need the remainder? Well, every time you divide a large number by the base, you are shifting it over and you're taking whatever the remainder is, and that is your digit. So I'll take that digit and I'll put it in. So that digit is in RDX right now, right? So RDX, I want to add RDX, the character 0. And if I'm adding the character 0, what it really does is it converts it, the digit, to ASCII, which is nice. Then I can decrement my RSI. So basically that means the buffer becomes equal to buffer index minus equals 1, kind of, right? That's kind of what it does. And then I can move into RSI's location, so the buffer, the value in DL, which is the RDX. It's the lowest byte of RDX, which is that character. So put lower byte from RDX into buffer whatever location. So whatever locations, because we're going to do this multiple times. All right. So now we've put it in there, and we can go increment the counter for the size of the. So this is the number of digits, right? So we're going to increment this right here. So one more digit. And then at this point, we are ready to see, are we done? Are we done? So we can compare RAX and see, does it still have anything left in it? So if RAX is greater than 0, then we want to go back to the print num loop. So we just do a jump greater than print num loop, and that should go up there and keep looping again and again and again until finally RAX has nothing left and you have written all the characters. At this point, you can just go ahead and write whatever you have left. So write the buffer. But you're not writing the entire buffer, you're just writing the buffer from Well, just the number of digits. So not all of it, just what it is. So move into RAX, the number 1 for a sys write. We're going to move into RDI, the number 1 for standard out. We already have RSI is already ready pointing to the string of characters. You got to see how we've been like putting each character in one at a time. So RSI is already pointing there, and then we want to get the length. So move into RDX. The length was just stored in RCX. So length. At this point, we can just call a syscall and write it. And really, that's all we need to do for that. But we're inside this function, and in the very beginning, we push this thing right here, and we allocated space on the buffer. So we need to release this buffer space, so 32 bytes, and then pop out RBX. So we do cleanup. So we do an add RSP 32 to free the buffer. We want to pop RBX to get that back, and then we just return. All right, so this piece of code has 2 external functions, or 2 functions that are going to be available externally, and we want to then get those and use them. So, but let's go ahead and assemble it to make sure it works. x86-64, and this is ASM lib is ASM lib.o. So it assembled correctly. That's good. We can't run it because we don't have anything to run it with, but we can do that part right now. So we do a print test.asm. So in here, we want to create a section text again. And in this section text, we want a global start, which is how we get in here. We also want to tell it that we have these external things we're going to be using. Print num and extern print char, because we need those. We have a start, and we are going to try to display 12 plus 34 equals 46. Okay. So we're going to move into RDI the value 12. And we're doing a call print num. Then we're going to move into RDI the value in the plus character. We're going to call print char. We're going to move into RDI the number 34, and we'll call print num. We'll move into RDI the value of the equals sign. We'll call print char. We'll move into RDI the value 46. We'll call print num. And then we will, let's see that, we want to move into RDI just the value 10, which is the new line. And we'll call print char. So that should print out this little equation right there. We're not actually doing any math, we're just printing it out. And then we can just exit the program. Exit. So we'll move into RAX. the number 60 will move into RDI, the number 0 for the return value, and we'll do a syscall, and then we are done. All right, so let's try assembling this portion. So nasm -f elf64 print test, print test.o, and then we have to link them. So we ld, and then we need to list both of our objects. So we have to do print test.o and asmlib.o, and we're going to create a print test print test by itself. And then we run print test, and we see, does it work? And it appears that it does work. So this is how you can link two different pieces together to have a function in a separate file.